Hey everyone, Chris Stoltz coming at you once again from the MuppetStuff Museum, and today I'm going to show you a bunch of recent thrifting finds. Some Henson books I found include this Wobulous World of Dr. Seuss, What is a Zubblewump Lift and Peak board book, which includes many flips to flap. Put out by Random House in 1997, this 2002 reprint of Ask Kermit All About Food, which features Kermit and Robin exploring all different kinds of food, including where food comes from, like farms, how it's made, like peanut butter or bread, and even pizza, which is made up of a bunch of different types of food. There's even a recipe for yogurt, so you can make your own food at home. A couple of dinosaur train books, like this sturdy cardboard book, A Trip to the Pumpkin Patch, and Buddy Loses a Tooth, put out by Grossop and Dunlap in 2011 and 2013. I also found this CD-ROM of Muppet Kids reading skills, still brand new in its package. And while it wasn't shrink wrapped, it looks like the CD was never removed from this plastic. Laugh and play with Kermit, Piggy, and all the Muppet Kids while learning important reading skills. Muppet Kids Reading Skills includes 3 separate programs on one CD-ROM with more than 60 activities to teach and entertain. Letters teaches upper and lower case letters, letter recognition, and letter order. Beginning Phonics teaches letter sounds, rhyming, and word building. Sound Patterns teaches word associations, combination sounds, and pronunciation. Featuring more than 60 games, talking instructions that let kids play with parent or alone, teaches basic computer usage, and is designed by trained educators. Released in 1999 by Brighter Child. Well, we moved along from books, so how about some magazines? Yes, here we have some vintage Sesame Street magazines. Here we have October 1991, November 1991, December 91, January, February 1992, and the April 1992 issue, all in pretty much mint condition and don't feature any writing or cutouts. And by writing or cutouts, I mean because each magazine features lots of activities for kids that you could write or cut out. Well, I guess I lied because there's still one more book. And it's not really a book. It's more of like a travel guide. And it's Birnbaum's Walt Disney World for Kids by Kids, the official guide from 1998, which features a whole spread about Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D, which Taryn explained the whole movie is in your face. Don't miss this attraction. It's one of Walt Disney World's best. It begins with a funny pre-show starring Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, Scooter, and Sam Eagle. Then you go into a specially designed theater that looks just like the one from The Muppet Show. Here you see incredible 3D movie effects mixed with some other special effects. It's hard to tell what's part of the movie and what's real. Most people are fooled into trying to touch something at least once. The characters come right at you, observes Lissy. It's really cool that they have real things happening, so when they throw the pie, you think it will be a real pie too. Adam W. agrees. My favorite parts are the squirting water and when the screen blows up, because it really happens. You feel like you're going to get hit. The real bubbles are a great special effect. You can't tell which are real and which are part of the movie, says Brian L. It's really more like 4D. Justin was also fooled by the special effect. When I tried to touch one of them, my hand reached right through. Taryn agrees. The whole movie is in your face, he says. It's awesome. I also love the little 3D spirit, Waldo, because he seems like he's talking only to you. Robert and Anna feel the same way. I thought the 3D guy was just pointing at me. I can't believe he was pointing at everyone, says Robert. Nita, Karen, and Tate have seen this attraction before. Nita reminds you to look at the back of the theater because a lot happens back there and most people miss it, at least on their first visit. Tate adds, you can really enjoy this attraction more than once. Karen says, I just love this movie. You have to see it a few times to get all the jokes and appreciate more of the details, like the 2 guys sitting in the balcony. They're really funny. And I agree with all those kids, especially the part where they say this attraction is one of the best at Walt Disney World. It was true when it opened, and it is still true today. I also found these Sesame Place sipping cups. This green one from 2012 featuring The Count, which has the Sesame Place logo they used at the time, as well as this blue one celebrating Sesame Street's 50th anniversary, which features the classic Sesame Place logo on the back. And speaking of Sesame Place, I also picked up this vintage Sesame Place autograph book which I believe was released in the 90s. Some other recent Sesame finds include this CD of Sesame Street What's the Number, which is a new compilation of Sesame Street songs put out by Warner Music Group in 2019. Featuring the 2019 version of the Sesame Street theme, I Can Sing, Cookie Shark, Rocco's Playdate, Number of the Day 10, That's Cooperation, Best Friends Song, Old MacDonald Had a Farm, If You're Happy and You Know It, Two Is You and Me, The Monster on the Street, and the letter of the day, A, which as you can see is still brand new and factory sealed. And speaking of Sesame Street music still brand new and factory sealed, Dave, aka Retro Restop, found these still brand new and factory sealed vintage Sesame Street 45 records. The Sesame Street book and records all about animals, which features on side A, What Are Kids Called, and on side 2, Green, and Sing About Feelings, which features on side 1, Nearly Missed, and on side 2, A Face. Both were released in 1970 by Columbia and were part of the Sesame Street Book and Record Collection. I also found this pretty decent copy of Bert and Ernie's Sing-Along, released by Sesame Street Records in 1975, as well as this 1983 Gorham Fine China Sesame Street plate, featuring Cookie Monster, Big Bird, Bert, Ernie, Prairie Dawn, Grover, and Oscar the Grouch decorating a Christmas tree in an illustration by Joe Matthew. It's in almost mint condition except for a small chip on the back, so you're not really going to see it anyway. I also found this Come and Play with Big Bird picture frame, and while not factory sealed, it's still pretty much brand new, and it even came in its original box, released by Gund in 2003. As you can see, the picture frame features Big Bird holding a kite with the picture frame inside the kite, so it looks like he is holding you and trying to keep you from floating away. The sculpt is really well done, and it has a great likeness of Big Bird, and there's even a Tweedlebug on the kite. This still factory sealed pack of party napkins featuring Ernie, Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and Bert in a hot air balloon, put out by C.A. Reed in the 80s. This Sesame Street Let's Go to Preschool CD-ROM for both Mac and PC, featuring 16 fun activities that make learning fun with your best friends from Sesame Street. The award-winning learning software covers language development, cause and effect, early math, reasoning, creativity, and early reading, and is recommended for ages 3 to 5. The front cover opens up to reveal a gatefold cover with screenshots of the activities. And this was one of 3 CD-ROMs released in the line, which also included First Steps and Learn, Play, and Grow. Friend of the blog, Dave Perillo, found these Miss Piggy figurines at Jake's Flea Market, part of the Hamilton Hats Off to Moi collection. Here we have Red Hot Moi and Don't Exercise, Accessorize, which were released around 2008. Before we get to our final item, I want to show you some things fans sent me. First, we have a fan that is unknown because they gave it to Dave, and unfortunately, Dave did not tell me who they are from. But we have a DVD of Sesame Street TV favorites, The Best Pet in the World, the Sesame Street books, What Did You Bring?, We're Different, We're the Same, and a large Cole's Cares version of Another Monster at the end of this book. This bag of items is from Corey, who ran into Dave at Jake's Flea Market, which includes a whole bunch of Fraggle Rock weekly reader books. Danger Boober Cooking, The Cave of the Lost Fraggle, Moki's Birthday Present, Sprocket Dog Detective, Traveling Matt's Adventures in Outer Space, What Doozers Do, Goodnight Wimbley Fraggle, No One Knows Where Gobo Goes, If I Were King of the Universe, Fraggle Countdown, What's a Fraggle, The Legend of the Doozer Who Didn't, and Wimbley of Fraggle Rock. There's also these Muppet Babies books, Can You Imagine, Meet the Muppet Babies, and Can You Imagine, Miss Piggy and the Giant Bubble, the 1999 re-release of the monster at the end of this book, as well as the larger Cole's Cares version of the monster at the end of this book, and the Cole's Cares version of another monster at the end of this book. So that's another copy of another monster at the end of this book. Two copies of another monster at the end of this book. So thank you both for these amazing items. And finally, while cleaning out my mom's house, I found an item that was supposed to be a gift to me back in the 80s or 90s, and I just happened to stumble upon it. In a box of gift bags, I found this vintage Bert gift bag just staring at me, and I said, "Hey Mom, what's up with this vintage Bert gift bag?" She goes, "Oh, right. That was supposed to be for you, and I never gave it to you, so it's still brand new and in never used mint condition." So of course I took this for myself and basically thrifted it from my own house. I like how his face is like, perfect. It like fits right over mine. Like I could like just become Bert. So bizarre. Well, there's no copyright date on it. It was released by Applause in what I'm gonna guess was the late 80s. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite item from this video was. Please be sure to follow us on all our social media channels, and I'll see you next time from the MuppetStuff Museum. How his face fits right over mine, like I could become Bert.